So it's only been about 30, 40 days of 2023 and already so much has changed. So today I'm going to be doing a February market update to go over the Fraser Valley and Langley in particular. I'm going to give you the lowdown on the neighborhoods that perform the best in Langley, what's going on in Langley, and hopefully by the end you can figure out if it's somewhere you want to invest in comparison to the Fraser Valley, or if you want to hold off. Or if you're considering different areas. Just to give you an idea of where Langley stands in comparison to the Fraser Valley saw a 76.6% drop in active listings compared to January 2022. Also, the Fraser Valley saw a decrease in sales of 52.2% compared to January 2022. And then when it came to new listings hitting the market in this January was record lows. It was the lowest amount of new listings since 1984. And that has to do in part with obviously holiday season, right? Holiday season, usually January, not a ton of new listings hit the market, but also interest rates going up has people locked in, frozen, not wanting to make the move because they're probably locked in at a lower interest rate and they don't want to have to renew at a higher interest rate if they really don't need to. In the Fraser Valley, the benchmark price was down 15.1% compared to January. So January, a little bit closer to the peak. Last year, January, February, March were kind of the highest performing months. I would say it's not that bad because if you consider what everyone was saying, that we're going to see like a 50% drop, 60% drop, this isn't even half of that. So in the Langley detached market, we saw a pretty wide range between the three measurements, anywhere from a drop of 16 to 23%. Compared to last year. So if you gauge that on average with the Fraser Valley, there was definitely a bigger drop in price compared to the Fraser Valley. So better opportunity maybe. In comparison to last month, there wasn't too much of a difference. There was a slight drop across the three measurements of between 1 to 6% in the detached market. In the townhome market, something similar, a wide range, right? With the three measurements, we saw anywhere from down 2.5% to down 15.1%. So not as steep as the detached market, but definitely on the higher side, right? Comparing to the Fraser Valley. When you compare that performance though to what happened in December, this is actually one of the categories where we saw a slight uptick in prices. So the average and median prices actually went up about 5 to 6%, whereas the benchmark price came down about 2%. And then in the condo category, similar again, between 6.6% to 13.9% drop year over year. And then on the month-to-month basis compared to December, we saw between 3% drop to a 3% increase. So, it pretty much stayed stable throughout the condo market. Looking at the best performing neighborhoods in Langley in the detached space, there's three that really stood out, and that would be Walnut Grove, Murrayville, and Brookswood, all in the 40 to 47% sales ratio. So that means that out of the amount of homes that were listed, 47 and 41% of them sold. So if you consider those numbers, that's a very strong seller's market. Obviously, we have to take into account that there wasn't that many listings because of the time of the year. But if you really break this down as to why these homes were actually moving so much, is because in those areas, there's definitely a higher concentration of affordable homes between the most active price band for detached homes, which was in the 1 million to 1.5 range. Walnut Grove, Brookswood, and Murrayville have a pretty segmented community, which allows there to be older affordable homes with bigger lots. And because this is in the range between 1 million to 1.5, that's the category it kind of fits around in comparison to other neighborhoods, for example, like Fort Langley, which is usually on the higher price range. You wouldn't see homes around 1.5. Usually it's a lot higher than that, in the 2s and 3 millions, because it's a little bit more luxury, as well as you look at areas like Salmon River where there's mostly acreages. So those price ranges are 1.8, 1.9 and above. So obviously there was less movement there. That's why those neighborhoods that are a bit more rural didn't do as good. On the buying side, the opportunity right now for detached is probably going to be in Langley City and Aldergrove because there is a high number of listings that are active right now and not a lot of sales that happen. So if you look at those numbers, you're looking at a 15 to 17% sales through ratio, which puts it not even in a balanced market, but actually in a buyer's market because, even though those price ranges are on the lower side, you're seeing homes in those areas that are actually sometimes around the million range, right? So pretty affordable. Those ones aren't moving because for that same price, some people might prefer to move up on the hill, which is literally Walnut Grove, Murrayville, and Brookswood, rather than being in the more higher traffic areas like Langley City and Aldergrove. The attached space, there's definitely neighborhoods that won't compete because they don't have that type of product available, but the highest performing neighborhoods were Walnut Grove and Murrayville. And Willoughby, definitely a heavy hitter, but because of such high density there's a ton of listings that are still available. So again, opportunity for a buyer to go in there and potentially negotiate a deal because there's such high numbers of inventory. Whereas if you're a seller and you're in Murrayville or Walnut Grove, you have a better opportunity of getting the most exposure because there's not a ton of listings there, and most of the listings that have been up there have mostly sold. So you're more likely to get a higher price point, sell quicker, and so on. The price range with the most action in Langley was between 500 and 600,000, and that typically is because that's where the condo market kind of sits at. If you're looking at a newer one bedroom or a two bedroom, right, we're looking at one beds between 450 and 600 right now. One beds and two beds between 450 and 600. And then if you're looking at townhomes, the more popular price range was around 700 to 800, even in the 900 range, because that's what townhomes are selling for right now in Langley, right? You're looking at 2-bed, 2-bath, or you're looking at probably like 3-bed, 3-bath in that 900 range, and on the low side, 700. So in conclusion, you kind of have the breakdown of what's going on in Langley. What I think is going to happen in the next few months is totally based on how much inventory hits the market over the next month or two, right? Because if not a ton of listings hit the market, we're going to be in the same dilemma as we are right now, except with more buyers, more confident buyers, and potentially a stable interest rate, right? Because if the Bank of Canada doesn't raise interest rates, all this confidence will start to come back. Buyers will be more comfortable buying at that point. And if we're still flatlining with the amount of new listings hitting the market, we're already seeing multiple offers, but most likely we're going to see multiple offers with offers way above market value. Right now, we're seeing listings that are priced below market value with multiple offers, but they're not selling above market value. They're usually selling at or below market value in comparison to what has recently sold. So if new listings come back on the market, even if we have interest rates stable, right, and new confidence hits the market, I don't think prices will rebound right away. More sales will start to happen, though. I have people who are waiting for me to reach out to them to tell them, hey, by the way, interest rates have now decided to pause, and now we're not getting another hike till June. So if they're getting confidence from that and they're going to out there and buying, these guys aren't anything special. They're thinking the same thing the general public is thinking. So if that happens and we have more listings, at least that'll be able to buffer out the competition, and there shouldn't be as many multiple offers, so the demand can be satisfied by the higher level of supply. But if that doesn't happen, like I said, we will probably start seeing higher offers and prices start to rebound. So looking at it on the big picture, I don't think this year is going to be a year where we see a huge rebound unless the Bank of Canada decides to drop interest rates for some reason. And the only reason I could see that happening is if they really see some problems going on with the economy. They have to do it to stimulate spending again, which I don't think we're there yet, because even though they might have overshot the interest rate hikes, at least I see them pausing now. And if they can pause for the rest of the year, I think it'll be a pretty good environment for the market to stay steady, not go up like crazy, not go down like crazy, and everybody can finally take a deep breath and realize that everything's going to be okay. So hopefully that answers all of your questions. If you have any other questions, click down below. I have a link there where you can reach out to me directly. Subscribe for more videos like this about the Fraser Valley and Langley, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks so much. Bye.